Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is NopNapNarp, and today I'm bringing you just what the internet needs, another video about Fortnite Battle Royale. This game has enjoyed crazy success and popularity, especially since the beginning of 2018, and it's been analyzed and viewed on YouTube and Twitch from every angle, from Let's Plays to the game's history, to in-game strategies, to fan theories, and even the world's lore. There is no doubt that many people will spend more time with Fortnite in 2018 than any other game. And for good reason too, because it's so damn addicting. So, in this episode of Psychology of Gaming, the series where we analyze how game developers incorporate psychological principles into their games and how games can affect us psychologically, we come back to Fortnite for the second time in this series to explain just how this game has built and maintained such an active fan base. So without further ado, prepare to text your girlfriend while crouching in a bush, and let's jump straight in to today's video. In this video, we're gonna jump straight into talking about the psychological perspective of this topic, because if you're watching this video, I'm sure you already have a good idea of what Fortnite is and how its gameplay works. To put it simply, you're dropped into a large map where you and up to 99 other players will duke it out with an arsenal of weaponry. The last player standing wins and gets that heralded Victory Royale, which, not to brag, but I got my first Victory Royale the other day. Only took, like 200 attempts. But we got it. So let me get a yeah, boy. Yeah, boy! So anyway, what makes Fortnite so addicting? How has it succeeded in becoming possibly the most popular game of all time? It's even surpassed that of its predecessor, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Well, the first thing we must note is that the barrier to entry isn't very high. All you need to do is own a PS4, Xbox One, or PC and have an internet connection, because this game is free, and you don't need psychology to tell you that when something is free, people will gravitate towards it. In a society where everything is so expensive, it naturally feels good to us to receive something of good quality for free, and Fortnite certainly meets that criteria. Sure, you can put money into the game for cosmetics, but you don't have to if you don't want to, and these factors certainly help establish a very large fan base. But if the game got boring after a few rounds, then Fortnite's large player base wouldn't matter, and the game would not enjoy the same levels of success that it currently is, which again is at insane levels, considering, think about this, how many people just tune in to watch the best Fortnite player in the world play the game. Crazy numbers, Ninja. Congrats, brother. The developers of Epic have done a few things to ensure that the game feels addicting though, and they've succeeded in this endeavor by understanding a few components of human psychology. Those being that, number one, we are inherently competitive. Number two, we highly value self-accomplishment. And three, if we feel close to succeeding, we tend to push onward to achieve that goal. Fortnite captures all of these psychological tendencies in the core design of its gameplay. So let's break it down by starting with the first point. Again, it doesn't take psychology to tell us that we are naturally competitive, but studies of competitiveness sure do help in making more sense of it. If we didn't enjoy competing, we wouldn't as a species have a history of creating games, whether it be sports, board games, or esports. We as humans take pride in victories, especially when the odds are against us, because you have to overcome some sort of competition in order to win, and it makes you feel better about yourself. I mean, I know this is pretty basic stuff, but stop and think about it. I'm sure at some point in your life, you've engaged in a game or activity that you got caught up in and desperately wanted to win, or at the very least, you didn't want to lose. This idea of loving to win versus hating to lose comes down to what psychologists call regulatory focus, which basically states that we approach a goal in one of two ways, either promotion focused or prevention focused. Promotion focus describes people who love to win and will go out of their way and go the extra mile to help ensure a victory. On the other hand, prevention-focused people will hope to succeed not by being the best, but by doing good enough through sticking to the rules and guidelines that define their goals. So in Fortnite, if you are a promotion-focused person, your focus will be on winning the match no matter what, by using more creative techniques that are developed through patience and practice. You may try new things or learn advanced building techniques in order to achieve a victory royale. But no matter what, you don't find any joy unless you finish in first place. On the other hand, a prevention-focused person will play the game more cautiously and focus on playing not to lose. They will spend more time hiding in buildings and remain less aggressive than other players until they are forced to engage in combat in which they hope to win. For them, surviving as long as possible in a way supersedes the desire for victory to some degree. Regardless of your approach though, you are still enjoying competing against other players and chasing that victory royale. Competition can be addictive, especially when it's so easy to jump into another match without much of a physical toll on your body, such as with physical sports. That feeling of finishing in first place is addicting because we are competitive, and overcoming 99 other players isn't easy, it's earned. The developers at Epic understood this and molded it into their gameplay to keep us hooked. That brings us to the second point that I mentioned earlier. We highly value self-accomplishment. Let's be obvious for a minute. We enjoy feeling like we are superior to the people around us. It may not be the most ideal thing for a society, but it's inherently part of our nature. I'm sure if you do a bit of self-reflection, you will easily realize that you encounter people every day that you kind of look down on a bit. It's just a part of who we are. We like to compare ourselves to others, and we especially enjoy when we view ourselves as being the better person. It's why bullying exists, it's why sports exist, it's why competition is so addicting in the first place, the feeling of success. Again, Epic understood this, and they made a game that takes advantage of it. Fortnite is designed with a victory state that can only be achieved by outplaying and outmaneuvering 99 other players. When we do win, we genuinely feel like we're on top of the world because we have beaten odds that are heavily stacked against us. It has us feeling good about ourselves and leads us to chase that feeling in our next match, which is just what Epic wants. Us to keep playing their game despite even if we constantly lose, because that next match may just get us back to being on top. And that brings me to the third and final point. If we feel like we are close to success, we normally will keep pushing onwards until we achieve that goal. Let's be honest, we've all had those assignments where we procrastinated too long and are forced by a time deadline to hurry up and complete the assignment. When you're writing that 20-page paper and you make it to page 18, you're more likely to just power through and complete the damn thing just to get it out of the way. We can apply that same principle to Fortnite. If we are continuously finishing in the top 20 or top 10 or top 2 even, we feel this sense of being so damn close to winning, and that the next match will have to be the one that puts us on the top. This comes down to a principle in game design that takes advantage of our thought process, that being to make the player lose by a little but win by a lot. In Fortnite, death is always on the horizon, and even with the max shield and max health, it only takes one player spotting you before you spot them to shred your health bar to pieces. They see you in the distance, they unload on your health bar, you panic, you build up, they rush you and they kill you, and you think, damn, I could have reacted better, or I could have avoided that situation if I had done this or that. And that thought process leads to jumping into another match because you believe that correcting that mistake will get you closer to victory. Every death feels like you just barely lost or that it could have been avoided, and this leads you to wanting to play just one more match in order to overcome the odds this time. And when you finally do win, like I've already mentioned, you feel on top of the world because you had to overcome 99 other players who wanted to achieve what you have now achieved. It's an addicting loop because losses feel preventable and correctable, while victories are so satisfying. It's for these reasons that Fortnite can be so addicting. It lets you play for free and takes advantage of your competitive nature, your drive for success, and your desire to complete a goal. It does this by designing a game that lets you hop into matches quickly, by making losses feel preventable and avoidable, by making victories feel so enjoyable, and by making you feel in control of the outcome of the match, despite the fact that you're up against 99 other human players with the same exact motivation as you. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Psychology of Gaming. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want more on Fortnite and psychology, check out Psychology of Gaming Episode 6, in which I talk about why Fortnite can lead players to feel anxious or even scared while playing. If you've ever felt nervous or afraid while walking around the map of Fortnite, be sure to check out that video for an explanation on why you get that feeling. On the other hand, if you want to see my dumbass play Fortnite, check out my Let's Play that I did with some friends a few months back. Links to both videos are in the description below. Anyway guys, that does it for me. If you have any questions or feel that something didn't make sense to you, comment below and I'll be sure to answer. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing for more. And as always, have a nice day and take care.